Everybody get down. Everybody dance. Get up. Get up. That little gay talk show. 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 Hey, everybody. I'm Joel Tatum of That Little Gay Talk Show. Welcome to a new episode. Now, if you were looking for last week's episode, which I did do on Facebook Live, and I did do an episode last week, we had an issue, and we had to, basically, my computer crashed, and I had to do something I had never done before in my life. I had to figure out how to get my computer back up. It took a couple of days. No, it took several days. I had to call Dell. There was hardly anyone around, but thankfully, someone from Dell was able to help me figure out what happened. And once I figured out what happened, by the way, this took 4 hours. I cried the first 2 days because I was like, I don't have a computer. I don't know what to do. My laptop crashed a long time ago. I was never able to bring it up. And I just threw it in the trash, basically. I'm like, it's a laptop. It's $200. I'll get another one later. But this is my desktop. And somehow it crashed. And I don't know how that happened. So I was able to call someone who, by the way, I was on hold, first of all, for 2 hours. Let me take that back. It wasn't 4 hours. It's much longer than that. It's kind of like this whole quarantine. It's been 37 days, but it feels like it's been 5 years. So that's basically, yeah. So basically my computer had some issues and I had to call Dell and I managed to get it fixed. I did manage to get it fixed. Everything is back up and running. They are sending me something in the mail to do I forgot what it was. I think they're sending me some kind of card or something. Some kind of card got corrupted or something. I was able to bring it up, basically, and I'm able to download episodes and everything else. I can't use my computer to its fullest until, I think it's some kind of video card or something. I can't remember. It got corrupted somehow. They are sending me a new one. They didn't charge me, amazingly enough. No charge. Those usually cost like, I think like $70 or $80 because I looked it up online at Fry and all that other stuff. So it usually costs me a little bit of money, but I got it for free. So thanks to the people there who did that. So we're backing up and running. So I'm going to release that episode today, but I'm going to do a new episode right now. And I decided this time, because my page is not getting any love, for some reason, I do live shows on my regular Facebook page, which is Joel Tatum. But I decided that we're not going to do that anymore. From now, we're going to do live shows on the page that matters. That's the show page, That Little Gay Talk Show. It really is just about to see who's listening and who I can draw to the page. So I'm going to start drawing more people and more attention to the page for the show and less attention to my page so that you can get a hold of me. You can send in comments and all that other stuff. And we can have fun doing this. So, like I said, welcome to That Little Gay Talk Show. And the tea, which has already been poured, you can hear it. Can you hear that? Now, let me tell you about the tea, first of all. This is E&J brandy. Usually I'm a bourbon guy, but for the show, I like to do E&J brandy. It's a little smoother. I mix it with a little Canada Dry. And I pour about 1.5 ounces, close to 2 ounces, which is a double in the bartending world. It's a double. But the beautiful thing is because I ice it a lot and I allow the the alcohol to kind of like water down just a little bit so I don't get too. If you've heard when we were doing it as Joel and Randy's Texas Tea, good Lord, girl. I mean, Randy and I, Texas Tea, this tall cups. By the time we finished the half hour, well, you know, can I take a nap now? That's exactly how. At about 7:30 or 8 o'clock, I was in bed, and Randy would sit his ass on the couch and just watch TV all night or listen to music or what have you. So that's how we did it in the old days. But we have we've sobered up since then a little bit. We're not drinking as much as we used to. I still like to have a imbibe and have a cocktail every now and then. But we're working out. You know, the last 30 days I've been working out. I've been doing push-ups, sit-ups. I've been doing some ab work. I've been doing some leg work. I'm trying to get this chest together. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. When I get out of this, I am going to, Now, speaking of getting out of, and let me tell you why I decided to name this show Beauty Fades. First of all, it really comes from a comment, several comments that I've been watching on the news. Now, I don't try not to watch too much Corona news because it can get depressing. I mean, oh, Lord, it feels like this virus has mutated. You got new symptoms. You got all this other stuff. This virus changes looks more than Madonna did in the 80s and 90s. I mean, every time I turn around, it's got a different look, a different feel. It has changed a lot. So now we're down to starting Monday here in Houston, Texas, where I'm broadcasting from, live from Houston, Texas. We will now be having to wear a mask out in public. Now, only at grocery stores or places like that. If you're running or, taking a walk around in the neighborhood, if you want to wear a mask, you can. If you don't, you don't have to. You're outside. I mean, seriously, you're outside. So this is like for areas where you have to be in close quarters with each other sometimes. So wearing a mask is important. I, unfortunately, do not have a mask. At this point, I was told we didn't need a mask. In the last few days that I've been watching all this stuff, I have realized now I need a mask. And now Houston is going on mandatory mask for at least, I think, the next 30 days, starting Monday the 27th. So I'm going to run to the grocery store and get what I need beforehand because it might take me a few days. I think I'm going to try to make a mask. I doubt that I will succeed at it. But I'm going to try to make a mask. If I can't make a mask, then I might have to buy one online, and that's going to take a little bit of time. So we're just gonna see what happens. Like I said, beauty, because I made the misfortune of watching the news every now and then, and I've been watching all these protests. And let me tell y'all something. Oh, I need to have that cocktail because I'm about to say some things that might not upset some people. That might upset some people. So I'm going to put it like this. And please don't take anything political out of this. I empathize with the people who are marching in the streets, who want to go back to work, who want to get things back to normal. I empathize with you. I really do. I know it's hard to be in the house, and I'm looking at all these people, and I'm thinking, they're married with kids. They want to get out. They can't take it anymore. They can't stand being around their husbands. They can't stand being around their wives. Especially can't stand being around their kids. You can tell. So they want to get back. They want everything to get back to normal. And they think that it's magically, they have placed it in their heads that this whole thing is a fake, a fraud, all this other stuff, and that it's not as bad as it seems or what have you. And I think one scientist said, this is pretty much expected because we've been in quarantine. We pretty much kept the death rate a lot lower. It was supposed to be in the hundreds of thousands by now, but it's 40,000, which, by the way, I don't want to say thankfully it's 40,000. 40,000 people died. That's bottom line. 40,000 people died. My brother recently recovered from COVID, and from what I've learned, the damage that it does could possibly be permanent. So we Broadway actor lost his leg, had his leg amputated because of COVID complications. This virus is, even if you survive this virus, will be living with a lot of people for a long time. So even if you survive this virus, I don't know why people don't understand this. Even if you survive this virus, this could ruin your life. It could ruin your life. It could ruin your lungs. It could ruin your heart, your liver, your kidneys. You're looking at probably some permanent damage to organs. So even if you survive this, you're looking at some permanent damage. So I don't. The reason why I say that I empathize is because I know these people want to get back to work. They want to get back to normal. They want life to return to normal. These protests aren't that large in most places. I think in the thousands in some places, but it's not like 100,000 people are out there protesting. They're not. These are people who just want to get back to work and all that other stuff. So I empathize. Are they stupid? Fuck yeah, they're stupid. They are the stupidest people on the planet. Especially the ones who are wearing masks, especially the ones that are wearing full body suits and gloves, who are out there saying that this stuff is fake and it's not real and all this other stuff. And I'm like, but you're wearing you're wearing a mask. You got that plastic suit. I saw a couple of people out there in garbage bags, that kind of thing. And, like I said, these people have been in their homes for quite some time and they just want to go back to work. They just want to get back to life, normal life. But as we have been told, there's no such thing as a normal life anymore. Normal life is gone. It's completely gone. The idea of the handshake is probably going to be a thing of the past now. The 6 feet rule is probably going to be the thing. I'm thinking, Texas wants to reopen. And I read Texas's plan, and they want to do it in stages. So they're not like South Carolina and Florida and all this other stuff where they're just going, okay, just open everything up. Just open it all up. Let's just see what happens. Open it all up. Of course, I'm sure they have guidelines for masks and 6 feet and all this other stuff, which no one's going to, I can guarantee you, no one is going to abide by. As soon as people get out there in a crowd or something. Now, still, there are stadiums are closed. You're not going to go to major sporting events. You're not going to hit the club or bar anytime soon, but maybe restaurants will be open a little bit more. Although when you think of a restaurant, as one who works in the restaurant business, let me tell you about the restaurant I work at. It's a small restaurant. Probably, let's see if I can remember this correctly. Let's see, 5 tables to a row. So about 40, 50 tables inside. That's a rough guesstimate. That's not actual. So it's a small restaurant. So it's about 40 to 50 tables. Each seats 4 people each. So, and there's like 3 tables, I think, that seats just only 2 inside. And there's at least 60 tables outside. Our patio's actually much bigger than our inside. So, now, imagine if that 6 foot rule goes into place and that 6 foot rule becomes a thing. The majority of those, you're going to have to take at least half of those tables out from the inside and half of those tables out from the outside to probably get that 6 foot distance between tables. That's one. So half of your business is now gone. Secondly, we have a bar. Our bar seats 7. 8 if people really want to, depending on the bartender. We have some really popular bartenders. I am also a bartender, but I have my people on the weekends, but my weekday bartenders, they're the shit. They have some real popular, they are the most popular people in the restaurant. So people clamor to sit at the bar. So we can sit about 8, and I've seen about 10 people sitting up at the bar. They have squeezed chairs up there and everything else. The bar will not be there. You will not be able to sit at the bar. It wouldn't make sense to have bar chairs there. So you wouldn't have people sitting at the bar. So that business is lost to the bartender. The bartender makes his money from the bar as well as his few tables. Now, if we took 25 of those tables out of the restaurant and the bartender had 4 tables to begin with, he might only have 2. We do have a big table for 6 that seats up to 6, and it's a round table. So he might still keep that table, but it depends on the distance once again. He might only have 2 tables. He will have no people at the bar, so that's money lost. And waiters, how will we serve food? No one has answered that question. Are we serving food in full gloves and mask? Because if we're doing that, that's going to be kind of tricky, especially when it's coming to taking orders and talking through mask and all this other stuff. So it's going to be kind of tricky. So we're going to, I'm just going to say that how is this even going to be possible? How now, like I said, Texas is a little different. Texas is going to set it up in stages. They're going to open a few non-essentials at first. You'll still be able to go to restaurants, but you'll still be you will still only do like to-goes and that kind of thing for a while. I don't think waiters and bartenders will be back anytime soon. That's going to be the honest. It could be months maybe before a fully staffed before we see a fully staffed restaurant again. And I think for most restaurants, the idea of spreading tables out and you're going to have to spread out, you're going to have to thin out your wait staff, which means a lot of waiters are going to be without jobs. I think I work in a restaurant that has about 30 waiters, maybe about 30 waiters, 3 managers, 12 to 15 cooks, that kind of thing. So what you're doing now is that you're cutting that staff in half. So most of the people who work there are out of work. So they have to find jobs. And if most restaurants are doing that same kind of thing, it's going to be harder to find jobs. Now that's, I think, maybe stage 2 or 3 of Texas's plan. This governor here, I'm on the fence because I don't know whether he's smarter than other Republican governors or dumber. I mean, at least he is saying at the end of April, I think, or end of May, I can't remember which. And if anybody knows that, y'all just y'all let me know. But for the most part, that's what's happening. So they're going to be allowing just a few small businesses to open here and there. So you're looking at, and by the way, all those people who were, especially that lady, I love this lady in the one newscast I was watching who was saying she needs her hair salon back. Pointing at her hair. Let me tell you something. Look at this hair. This hair is, oh, you know what? This hair is, I just give up. I mean, I just gave up. I keep it little conditioned. I keep it washed. That's it. I mean, I stopped combing it weeks ago. Every now and then I take a brush and a comb to it to detangle it and to get out loose hair and that kind of thing, which is quite a lot, by the way. I'm losing so much hair. And I don't know if it's because of the stress or what have you, but I'm losing so much hair. So, yeah. So by the end of this, I'll be bald from here on back with a big bushy afro from here around. So we're already looking into some hair care products to try to minimize the loss, so to speak. So that's what we're going to do. I really, doing the show alone it really is a little bit of it's hard. Beforehand I had like 4 or 5 people around the table, or at least I had at least one partner around the table, but things didn't work out and blah, 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 blah. And life got in the way. So, doing a show by yourself is kind of hard. But I have gotten a lot of inspiration from watching people online do their thing. So I said, you know what, we're just going to have to keep the show going. We have to keep the show going. So that's this episode will go out tomorrow. Like I said, last week's episode that I did, I will put it out today. I think I need to finish about 10 minutes because we got abruptly cut off. I was supposed to have John Floyd on for one more show. John Floyd's going to come on and do like 10 minutes of a show every now and then. So I wanted to get back to doing some topics that are closer to my heart. And, you know, I love John Floyd, but he and I discussed this when it comes to the type of humor that I use. I'm not going to say he's not for it. He just doesn't understand half of it. So we've come to the agreement that I'm just going to use him for 5 to 10 minutes on the show. And, you know, he's going to do the coronavirus thing and do all that stuff. So I'm going to let him do coronavirus news and stuff. Plus, I will be producing his own show. We have a name, kind of. It's called the HTX. And it will be coming out when we are allowed, basically, to start getting out again. So he's working on designs for the show. He's going to be working on the About page. I've already set up a page for the show. I've already set up everything under my Spreaker account. So he'll be ready to go here. I have all the equipment that he needs. So we are in full podcast mode. So I'll be doing this show, and I'll also be helping him with his show, which I'll be on occasionally, too, to, you know, when I'm in the mood to talk politics. I'm usually not in the mood that much to talk politics, but lately that is what it's come down to. Oh, Lord, sorry. Woo. Woo. Okay. Not heartburn. I just felt a burp coming out. Felt a burp. If you're like me, you've been glued to the TV. You have been glued to your phone. You have been glued to the desktop. Now that I have everything working on the desktop and everything else. So now that I have all that stuff working, thank God. And I did just get a notice that I will have the computer 100% back up because I will get the piece that I need for my tower tomorrow because I just got a notice. Yay. So I will have it. Right now it's in safe mode and I'm able to do a few things, but not a lot. I can check my TWC account. I can check some basic stuff, and I can download the show, but I can't really do anything else other than that. I don't want to risk anything else. I usually play games on it because it is a very nice gaming computer. Alienware, thank you for that. It is a very nice gaming computer, so yeah, it can still do stuff. So we're going to have that issue done and fixed and ready to go by tomorrow. So we're good on that. Now back to the story because I tend to trail off. Little cocktail there. So basically, you have all these people out here protesting, and like I said, it's not a lot. I mean, here's what I don't get: what's with the Confederate flags and the guns? I don't understand what that has to do with what's going on, right? I honestly, what's with the Confederate flags and the guns? Maybe the guns I might understand, maybe a little bit, maybe a tiny bit. But what does the Confederate flags have to do with you being at home in quarantine? Or, I mean, is this supposed to be like the rebel anti-government? Because if we're going to go down anti-government rebel road, y'all lost. I don't understand that. But that has nothing to do with what's going on right now. And I don't mean no harm to y'all. And I want y'all to understand, I don't mean no harm to any of the y'all can be so mean out in the land of Twitter and Facebook and all that. Y'all can be so mean. And y'all need to stop being mean. These people know what they're getting into. These people knew the sacrifice they would make when they went out there. They knew that. They're dumb about it. They're idiots about it, but they knew what they were doing. So they have their own fate to deal with. The rest of us are quarantining, doing the things that we need to do. Like I said, I had a brother who just got out of the hospital not too long ago. I think there's some other family members who are mildly sick or severely. I don't know the full details yet, and I will catch up with Sarge on that. So I have a mother who is in her late 70s, early 80s in Atlanta that I need to make sure she's okay. So, I have to look out for these people because it's important. So that's why I'm quarantined inside. I'm not out there marching in the streets. I am, though, like I said, we getting this together. We push-ups, sit-ups, everything. Oh, Lord. I mean, I smell like sweat all the time. And trust me, I can't remember the last time I put on deodorant. I have to physically remember, and I say physically, remember to brush my teeth. I had to do this. Time for a cocktail. Let me brush my teeth later. So, so I have to physically remember to brush my teeth later. My friend Chris is helping me try to get some stuff together when it comes to, run the show, running my life, and everything else. And one of the issues that I'm having is the fact that I don't go to bed till 7 a.m. I mean, I don't see a reason to go to bed at 9 o'clock at night because I'm just going to get up in the morning and go from the bed to the couch to the refrigerator, then back to the couch, then maybe a nap in bed. Oh, I do work out. Don't get me wrong. That's the first thing I do in the morning now. And that's the first thing I do. And in the morning for me, it's like 1, 2 in the afternoon. That's the morning for me. I'm still getting my 8 to 10. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sleeping 4 or 5 hours and getting up and then napping throughout the day. I still get my 8 to 10. But, so I don't see a point in going to bed at 9 o'clock at night just so I can get up at 4, 5, 6 in the morning. So we're trying to work on that, where I do get up in the morning and I do try to find some things to do. I have cleaned this house so many times. I've cleaned out closets. I've organized books, comic books. I've organized my pantry. One thing, apartment living, I'm used to certain things. I'm used to maintenance coming by to fix things. I'm used to the exterminator coming over to make sure, to keep the bugs under control, that kind of thing. But we can't do any of that. Unless it's an emergency, I can't have maintenance over to fix little things. So I have to fix little things myself. And the bugs, the roaches, y'all, I haven't had roaches in this apartment in 2.5 years. I have lived, no, wait a minute. That's wrong. I moved here I've been in this apartment for 4 years. My goodness. I have been in this apartment for 4 years. Time just goes by so fast when you're working. But when you're not working, a month seems like I've been here for 4 years. So, yeah, I've been in this apartment for 4 years. And in the 4 years' time, I had the only time I saw a roach in the last 4 years was those big giant cockroaches during the summer. And I usually I just sweep those out the door. They somehow or another managed to crawl in under the door. So I got that little thing for the door and put it underneath. So I have put a little thing underneath to keep the big ones out. But the little ones, I just start seeing them like a few weeks ago. And I'm like, oh, my God, what's going on? So I had to buy the fogger. Now, here's the problem with the fogger. I got to be out of the house for 2 hours. 3 hours. I like to say 3. Although the box says 2. It's actually 3 because you need that time for the house to like chill afterwards. So about 3 hours. So I'm trying to think, what the fuck? How am I supposed to be out of the house for 3 hours? But I got a plan in place for that. I do have a plan in place, and it does involve my little workout schedule. So we're going to have to work that out. I have been doing the bridge walk. Y'all, I live in Montrose, and we have those beautiful, those bridges are kind of cute. I love the bridges from Hazard all the way up to, I think it's, let's see, Dunlavy, Woodhead. Is it Woodhead? I think it's Woodhead, all the way up there. So I walk those. I do the bridge walk. I start on Hazard, and then I end up on Woodhead, and then I come all the way back around about 3 or 4 times. And that takes, amazingly enough, that only takes an hour. You'd be amazed. I walk from my place through West U, and then I walk to the next bridge, and then I'm back in Montrose Midtown, and then I go back across the bridge, and then I'm back in West U, and so on and so forth. So it's a cute little walk, y'all. Y'all need to take that walk. It's very cute. There's a park, which I did not know. You know, I've lived in this neighborhood now for I don't know how long, and I'm like, wait, there's a park? I didn't know there was a park. There's a cute little park off of Dunlavy right next to the bridge. And I'm like, there is a park. This is what, you know, being in quarantine is actually kind of not a bad thing because I'm starting to discover my neighborhood. You know, a long time ago when I was young and I used to be out and about a lot more, you know, I used to ride through the neighborhood and I would find these things and that kind of thing. But, you know, life, you know, got busy and everything else with work and everything else. So, you know, you didn't take the time to do that. But now that I have the time to do that, I try to do it at least 2 or 3 times a week. So the neighborhoods are cute. There were some cute little homes back there, some apartments that I might take a look at later on. Just cute little streets, and everybody's been friendly and everything else. So I've been having a really good time doing that. So here's the thing. We are 30 minutes into the show, and I'm going to take a little bit of a break because I need a little bit more of a cocktail, and I'm going to need to take a little bit of a bathroom break. I'm going to let the live continue to go on. This is That Little Gay Talk Show. We are basically just talking about life, love, and quarantine. I got a couple of things. We're going to talk a little bit, and now I know it's been a while now. We have some Tiger King things that I want to talk about, and I noticed something because I went through the other day. You know, I can't forget this thing. I watched it the second week I was in quarantine. Thought to myself, I never want to watch anything like this ever again. Not ever again. It's just terrible. The people in here are the most terrible people I've ever met. With a few exceptions. There are a few exceptions, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But I noticed some things that were a little bit horrifying in the comments, especially when it came from gay men, that I want to talk about just a little bit. So we're going to talk about that in the second part of the show. And I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and we're going to be right back. As far as Facebook Live is concerned, I'm just going to let it run. Y'all just do your thing. Say hello. Hey, Ed, how you doing? Who is that? You know, I'm sorry, y'all. I don't have my glasses on. I will put my glasses on, but I look, let me show y'all what my glasses look like. Oh, by the way, I signed up for AARP. Now, here's the thing. I'm 52, and I thought to myself, oh, Lord, I'm not ready for AARP. God, I'm not ready for it. And then my other 2 friends, they signed up for it, and they said, Joel, the discounts are amazing. And I'm thinking, you know what? No, it's still not worth it. Because that cements as a gay man now, that cements the idea that I am now a gay man of age. And that completely cements that idea now for signing. So I resisted for quite some time. And like I said, I've had enough time on the internet that I took a look at that little package and went, hell yeah, I'm paying the $20. I'll pay the $20 a year. Do you see the discounts? The discounts are amazing. Y'all, I'm not going to. Now, look, I'm not fixing to call them senior. I'm not ready to call them senior discounts. I'm not ready to call them senior discounts. But the discounts are so good, I don't care. I signed up right away. I don't mind. I will pull out my senior discount card because the discount seniors get incredible discounts. Oh my God. And I'm not even in the senior stage. I'm still in middle age. So I'm okay for right now, but I'm not even in the senior stage yet. The seniors really get the big discounts after they turn 60. So in my 50s, the discounts are okay, but the seniors, they get some incredible discounts in their 60s. So, anywho, so I went on ahead and signed up. I paid. Oh, and by the way, I didn't even pay the $20. They gave me a discount. That's what? They gave me a discount. I only paid $12. They took $8 off the just to sign up. I said, you know what? I have found some bargains during this quarantine. Y'all need to check that out because I have found some bargains during this quarantine. Anyway, we're gonna take a little bit of a break, and I will be right back. And we're back. We are back now. I'm also simulcasting the show on Facebook Live on our page, which is the T, that little gay talk show. Hopefully, I'll be able to draw more viewers than the 2 viewers that I have right now. But I want to thank the 2 viewers who did come to my page to watch. So we're going to get into the next part of this show, and the next part of this show, I'm calling. I'm so sick of the Tiger King. So here's something that I noticed the other day. I was going through Facebook, and after all the Tiger King memes, which if you're not sick of them by now, you should be. Y'all should be sick of these memes by now. They were cute. Maybe the first 2 weeks the show was out. And like I said, I watched the show the second week that it came out because what else did I have to do? And my friends on Facebook were like, you need to watch this show. And I did, and I watched 7 episodes of it. Now, let me tell you, if you haven't watched this show, please don't watch it. It's just terrible. It's the most terrible. I was glad for coronavirus after the 7th episode. I was just that's how bad. This is how I felt. I was glad for coronavirus. And that's horrible to say. That's how bad. I don't even like crime docuseries. I don't like crime documentaries. I don't find the idea of watching how someone got murdered very fascinating. I don't. I know that a lot of people do, but unless it has to deal with something like amazing, like some kind of big robbery that was pulled off or something like that, maybe I'll take a gander. But murder documentaries, no, I don't. And my biggest fear is that if I watch too many of those and somebody pisses me off, I now know ways to get rid of people and possibly get away with it. Because I have watched 1 or 2 in the past, and trust me, those are pretty dark. They are very dark, and I think that's why I stopped watching them, because my mind can go places. As Leslie Jordan says, that's a bad neighborhood up there. You don't want to go up there by yourself. Leslie Jordan, yeah, we'll talk about him in a little bit. But like he is correct. This is an awful neighbor. Oh Lord, there's a lot of sci-fi action going up, and it's dystopian. There's some terrible things going on up in here. Trust me, terrible things. So we don't want to go down that road when it comes to crime docuseries. So we try to keep it light. You know, I do like my Japanese anime, and sometimes, you know, because it's anime, I can go down dark road with anime because it's anime. It's not real. When you see someone getting their guts ripped out, you know, it's anime. You're like, oh, look at that. That's quite colorful. Didn't know that blood could be that. I didn't even know blood could spurt that way. And I've watched some pretty dark anime. So crime docuseries now. I real life stuff. That's, you know, this is probably why I like horror movies that involve aliens, demons, monsters, ghosts, those kind of things. But if they involve other people, no. Because any slasher flicks are the worst, because I can tell you right now, the biggest monsters on the planet are us. So I'm more afraid of us than I am of some made up demon or some alien coming down. I mean, at least I might have a chance with an alien, but I probably won't have a chance against another human being. So so those are the types of movies that scare me. The other ones sometimes just make me giggle because people just get into the most ridiculous situations in those, and I'm like, oh, okay. Why did you touch that? Why would it? Why would you touch that? I mean, you don't even know what you don't know what that is. If you don't know what it is, don't touch it. Okay, if it's a book with like made out of human skin with a monster on top of it, you don't open it. It's simple as that. That is simple. Half of the horror movies wouldn't even get done because most people will go, oh, look at that. Oh, that's made out of human skin. I'm out. You just throw it in the trash. We don't want that. No, throw it in the trash, throw it in the lake, throw it somewhere, dolls that come to life. Oh, now there's often been the argument about whether or not you could fight a doll off. I mean, it's just a doll. But what if it's a doll with superhuman strength? I mean, could you fight the doll off? I mean, really? And they can hide in places. I watched the one with the puppets a long time. Now that is still not scary, but it's amusing. It is extremely amusing. These cute little puppets that turn them, walking around stabbing and killing people. It's cute. Those are cute movies. The Puppet Master, I think it was the Puppet Master. Those movies are cute. They are really cute. And you might think that I have a dark sense of humor, but it's not that. It's just that, like I said, that's ridiculous situations that will never, ever, ever happen in real life. But we're living in an age with a, pandemic going on. That's a real thing, and those movies scare me. Slasher flicks are just basically murder flicks, murder documentaries. I mean, why would I want to? I mean, here's something that doesn't make any sense to me, especially when it comes to my favorite one, Friday the 13th. And that's probably the only slasher flick that I would ever watch because these people are incredibly dumb. I mean, incredibly dumb. Other slasher flicks, I don't think people are really dumb. I think they just get caught up in situations where, you're laying in your bed having sex with the person that you want to have sex with, and then you get stabbed through the bed. I mean, that could happen. I mean, we've seen the news stuff where we've seen worse. I mean, that shit can happen. But when you go to the same camp that people got murdered in several times over and they never caught the criminal, no, wait, where are we going again? Crystal Lake. Didn't all those people get killed? No, y'all have a good time. No, I'm sure that they caught him. Y'all have a good time. I'm just going to sit here and have a cocktail. Y'all have a good time. Do y'all want me to, that CD player that you bought? I'll take that off your hands. You ain't coming back. Because if you stupid enough to go up there, you're just not coming back. See, that kind of thing, Friday the 13th, those kind of things, now that's silly. No person in their right mind, if they had heard that that hundreds of people have been killed up there and they never caught who in their right mind would go up there again? And I know teenagers can be dumb. We saw that during the spring break when this whole coronavirus mess happened. And once again, these are teenagers, young adults. They don't think. And that's not nothing new. I don't understand why people get so upset about these kids out here. Those kids out there that were partying when this whole thing was going on, they're kids. Kids are always stupid. I mean, they are grown adults who made dumb decisions. And you know what? Some of them paid for it, unfortunately. But, they're kids. That's what they do. Kids think that when you're 19, 20, you think you're invulnerable. So it's not unusual for, that kind of response from kids when this whole thing was going on. I actually felt bad for the parents because I'm like, you would think you would have told your kid not to go, but if you try to tell them not to go and they still want it to go, what can you do? They're basically, I mean, if you paid for it and they still went, that's on you. But if they paid for it themselves and they still want it to go, well, then that's on them. They're adults. They made that decision. That's why I said you have to have a little bit more, with all this stuff going on, you have to have a little bit more empathy. A little bit more understanding because, like I said, teenagers and young adults, I mean, they're just stupid. When you're 18, 19, 20, especially when you're 18, 19, 20, oh, Lord. And male, oh, I expect the girls to be a little bit smarter, but sometimes they're not as smart. But we all know that. I mean, I'm lucky to survive those years. The dumb shit that I did, and I just, I'm sorry, I'm taking these off. I look silly. I mean, I can see, but I look silly. But I don't understand how I survived those years. I really do not understand how I survived those years. But that's neither here nor there. So, got to have a little bit more empathy, a little bit more empathy. And empathy does not mean being stupid, and empathy does not mean that you agree with these people. That's not what it means. What it means is that you understand the frustration that these people feel. These people are feeling some sort of frustration, either at the government or the quarantine or what have you. They're feeling a level of frustration. Their frustrations are silly. Will not go back on that. Frustrations are super silly. When you're worried about getting your hair done, when you are worried about going out to eat, when you are worried about going to a club or a bar, all those things you can do at home. Easily can do at home. We have Zoom. They have all these new video conferencing stuff coming out. Quarantine we wouldn't probably have all this stuff if we weren't in quarantine. All this new technology that comes out that still allows us to, hang out and be together in whatever way we want to now. I mean, you can still have your own little dance party at the house. You can still hook up with your friends. You can still see friends and family. You can still do all that stuff. Maybe you are sick and tired of the people. I live alone. And for my situation, it is a little bit lonely. It's very lonely. I don't have really a lot of people to turn to. The one person I did have to turn to, he and I aren't speaking anymore, which has really only been a month. I feel like we haven't been speaking for a month, but we're not speaking anymore. And I'm slowly starting to make the decision that we probably won't be speaking ever again. And it's been a very tough decision because it's left me very, very alone. And the first week of all of this, I was very scared. And when you don't have anyone to turn to, it can be quite scary. And knowing that you can't really depend on the one person that you need to depend on, which is yourself, because you've not been very reliable, even in your own mind, you know that you're not very reliable, and you know that you will probably starve to death, or you'll get kicked out of your place, or what have you. That fear of not knowing where a dollar is coming from, that fear of not knowing whether or not you're going to have food in the house, and you don't really have anybody to turn to. It is very, I'm not being emotional, but I understand the fear that a lot of us who are alone, who live alone and don't really have a lot of people to count on. It can be very scary through this time. It really can be. And by the way, I haven't really touched the alcohol that much. It really has been very scary. Because, I don't know what's going to happen. Am I going to wake up in the morning and see people running down the street with guns fighting each other? Am I going to wake up one morning and there's suddenly a zombie apocalypse going on because of Corona? Am I going to, I don't know. My mind, like I said, my mind is a dark neighborhood. So you never know. So when you're alone, you start to have all these thoughts and you start to feel helpless, and you don't have anywhere to turn, and you don't know who to turn to or what have you. Like I said, the first week I turned to alcohol, a lot of alcohol. The first week, the second week I got sick of alcohol and just stayed in bed. And because there was no point in life. I was probably going to get a major virus and die, and that'll be that. I have messed up friendships. I've messed up relations with my family, and it was very hard. So the fact that I've made it this far, I want to tell you out there, it's pretty much a miracle that I've made it this far. When I think about it, it's pretty much a miracle. And I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer about this, but it's pretty much a miracle. That's why I can empathize with those people out there protesting. I can't empathize. I mean, you just want things to go back to normal. You want to, you want to get up in the morning. You want to go to work. You want to, see your friends. You want to do the normal things that you want to do. And when you can't anymore, especially when you are alone, and there are a lot of people in far worse situations. And when I say far worse, I mean there are people who are alone who don't have any family where they are. They moved to a new place to start a new life, and then this happened. They don't have friends, and they don't have family, and they don't have anyone to turn to. So, it's pretty hard on us sometimes because, we're alone. But the thing is that I had to find something. I had to figure out what I wanted to do during this whole thing. And so one day I started to do 10 push-ups. I needed to just get my head going. So I looked at my gut. I mean, I think by week 2, I was pretty much down to boxers and nothing. Boxers and slippers. I didn't see a point. I had no money. I had to borrow money from a couple of friends. Well, my mom in Atlanta, and thankfully enough, a couple of people from work helped me out. And another friend helped me out. So, I did have a little bit of I made it through. Damn it, I figured out how to survive on my own. I figured out how to survive through all of this. When you're in a crisis like this and you have to figure out how to survive and you make it through, it's a slightly different feeling. So all the other stuff just starts to melt away slowly. Like I said, I started with 10 push-ups just to see if I could do 10 push-ups. And amazingly enough, I could do 10 push-ups, 52, and could do 10 push-ups. And they were hard. And I thought I was having a heart attack, but I managed to do 10 push-ups, and I got a little better every day. And I started getting outside, and I started to drink a little less. I still like to have a cocktail every now and then. Like I said, I have a cocktail for the show and maybe on the weekend. I mean, because, Friday, Saturday night, you kind of want to feel, so that kind of thing. And then I just started playing around online and signed up for a class so I can keep my mind busy because my mind was all over the place. I mean, it was all over the place. Like I said, there were a couple of dangerous moments for me. So I know how, like I said, I know how people can, who are alone, can get into this space and how this space can sometimes be very dangerous, especially during this time. You just have to keep going. You have to keep the faith. You have to, you got to take a breath and you got to pull yourself up. I'm still trying to break some habits. I'm still trying to do some things. And I was able to reach out. And once I reached out, I managed to find someone who made sure that I kept myself going. And I thank him for that. So when all my other friends pretty much took off, this person just called me out of the blue one day and just wanted to make sure I was okay. And then we talked about things and I started to feel better and I started to want to do things. And I think that that's important. I think that you have to survive and you have to thrive. I think it's important to also not just survive, but you have to thrive because you got to find something out there. Like I said, I have cleaned this apartment so many times, it's ridiculous. I cook better than I've ever cooked in my life. I look up recipes for stuff. I find things to do, basically put. So I learned to find things to do. I take a class 2 times a week. Social media marketing. That's what I'm taking a class in. I actually kind of like it. I've learned so much in it started off as a 4-week free class. I went on ahead and paid for a year. As soon as I got my unemployment, I went on ahead and paid for a year. I'm like, okay, so we're going to be doing this. So that's that. That way I have a little something backup, and that can help the show as well. Have a little backup degree in something so that, I wanted to get out there and do something else. Because I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to tell this to everyone out there who is in food service. Food service is never going to be the same ever again. I think that we can really basically say it is never going to be the same ever again. I think the time is going to come where waiters will become obsolete. I think that's what's going to happen. And it's sad, but it's the truth. So for those of you out there who are in food service, y'all better, please don't throw away your stimulus checks. Get yourself an education. If you can find something online that will allow you to do that, please get an education in whatever. Just get an education, because I'm honestly telling you right now, and I truly believe this, I think food service, the way that it was, will never be the same ever again. So get yourself an education, because this is, I think, the death knell for waiters is happening. Like I said, I don't understand. I'm still trying to figure out how they're going to do the whole social distancing while being in a restaurant kind of thing. But honestly, I think, luckily for me, I have bartending skills, so I might be able to find a bar to work at. I might be able to. I don't know if that's, 52, who most bars will probably want someone younger. I will have to contend with that. But I'm not going to give up on the idea of, trying to find something better. And I'm working on another podcast with another friend who's going to set up his own podcast under me. I'm going to help a couple other people do podcasts as well. I'm going to be finding some other avenues to look at, because like I said, and I'm going to say it one more time. If you are in the food service industry as a waiter, as a server of any kind, you can probably say goodbye to that, because I think coronavirus has completely destroyed that. You're going to have to find another source of income. And I would suggest right now to please, your unemployment, your stimulus checks, please invest in your education, because just like factory workers in manufacturing of old, I think our profession is going to die. And I think that we should be realistic with that. And I hate to be a Debbie Downer about it. The show is supposed to be about fun, but I think we need to be realistic, and we need to understand that. So I said I was going to talk about Tiger King in this first part of the show. I think I'm going to skip that. Actually, I'm going to finish Tiger King off on the part of the show that I'm going to put out today. This will be an episode for tomorrow, but I'm going to finish out the Tiger King stuff for the other half of the show, for the show that I was doing last week. So we'll finish that part out. I think I want to bring some humor into this. I think I've really released a lot of issues that I've had during this whole thing. It's been 36 days, 37, 38. I have lost count. If it wasn't for Leslie Jordan and Jeannie, by the way, Leslie Jordan, y'all need to be watching his. Oh my God, Leslie Jordan. I don't know where he came from, just out of the blue. People, you know what I've discovered beforehand. I have been, because of the show, I spend a lot of time online, so I usually find things before most of my friends do. So I'm used to being the guy who finds things on the internet like that. But now people are finding things before I am. So I'm like, I'm actually coming late to the game. I'm actually coming, and I'm taking a social media class on top of that. Shame, shame, shame on me. But, you know, people are finding, and I'm actually quite grateful that people are finding stuff for me, because I think I've Netflixed myself out. I think I have watched, you know, I just got Amazon Prime. I ordered a knee thing so that I can start doing more walking and running. I said running. Oh my God, I've told people this 1,000. You will never see me running. If you see me running, and this is the honest to God truth, if you see me running, it's because I'm being chased, and y'all need to run too. That's how I felt about running for the last 5 or 6 years. If you see me running, y'all better take off. Y'all better run, because something has made Joel run, and it's not good. So, but now I am thinking about, you know, running. So I ordered some knee things for my knees. And because my knees, I mean, these knees are old. These are old knees. You know, I wanted to say this to a couple of people out there. I realize how old I am. More than anybody on the planet, I realize how old I am. I really, truly do realize how old I am. That does not mean that I can't get myself in shape. That does not mean that I can't educate my mind. That does not mean that I can't want the things that I want. And that does not mean that I cannot be a full sexual being. Because I think, especially for gay men, you know, straight men, y'all, you know, I rag on straight men so much. But let me tell you something about straight men. I admire straight men sometimes, because straight men, when they turn a certain age, suddenly they become the sexiest thing on the planet. Women love them. You know, if they keep themselves in shape and they look good and everything else, straight men over 40, over 50, y'all just, women will say y'all age like fine wine. Y'all do. And women just, especially young women, they just drop their panties for men of a certain age. Not so much in the gay community. Oh, Lord, not so much in the gay community. In the gay community, as soon as you turn a certain age, that's it. Hang it up. You are done. Your life is sitting in a bar talking about the old days when you were 18, 19 years old. That's your life. And unfortunately, I saw that a lot, unfortunately. I had hoped that when I turned 50, that this was supposed to be my fun time now. You know, this was supposed to be the time I started to enjoy myself and have fun and that kind of thing. But it has not been fun. You know who's been having fun in their 50s? Women. Women have been having a good time in their 50s. Women have been having a good time in their 50s. They are starting to find their sexuality more. They're enjoying themselves more. They don't give a shit more. Oh, my God. Women in their 50s are having a good time right now. And God knows they deserve it. God knows women over 50 deserve it. My God, you have spent your entire lives trying to be whatever the magazines and society told you to be, and now you turn 50, you don't have to worry about that anymore. Now you can just be free and do whatever you want. Women are having a good time. Gay men are having an awful time, and it really depresses me so much. It really depresses me because I keep getting reminded every time, Joel, you're 50, you're not supposed to be doing that. Joel, you're 50, you're not supposed to be doing that. Joel, you're 50, you're not supposed to be doing. I keep being told what I'm not supposed to do once I reach 50. And I get told that more by gay men than, you know, I get more encouragement from straight people than I do get from gay people when it comes to turning 50. And when I talk to straight people about the things that I want to do and everything else, and the encouragement I get is amazing. It is amazing. I get so much encouragement. It's incredible. As soon as you turn 50 in the gay community, not so much. These queens tell you to hang up your, girl, it's over for you. You can't do that. Now, if you look at somebody funny, you're a dirty old man. If you try to do things that you've always done, suddenly you're like, oh, well, he's just trying to be young. I'm not trying to be young. Or he's trying to do this, or I have been told no so many times the gay community says no when you are over 50. I cannot believe. And like I said, for you straight men out there who I've made fun of, and I have made fun of y'all for a long time, I love you. Y'all know I love y'all. Y'all know I do. Y'all know I love y'all. Sometimes I love y'all too much. So but that's mostly in a sexual way. But you know that ain't ever going to happen. So I'm not even worried about that. But when it comes to other gay men, no, you get shut down every time. And by the way, if you don't have a perfect body over 50, definitely not going to happen. Definitely not going to happen. If you don't have certain looks, definitely not going to happen. Like I said, I think straight men get more encouragement from I mean, you can marry a 25-year-old and everybody claps. A gay man with a 25-year-old, oh my God, everybody loses their shit. You become a sugar daddy or a gay old man or any of that stuff. Oh no. Good Lord. No, your life is over. You are dead, pretty much. So I have decided that I don't want to be that. So I guess this is why I hang out with straight people so much. Because like I said, once you reach a certain age in the gay community, you're done. If you aren't 25 and pretty and cute and skinny, and by the way, you have to be 25, cute and skinny, most of the time white, to get anything in this community. Although I'm watching the kids now starting to do stuff, and when I mean the kids, I mean the millennials, not the Gen Zers. Gen Zers are still trying to find their shit. And by the way, let me remind y'all one more time. Millennials are having kids. Millennials are buying houses. Millennials aren't 20-something-year-old twinks doing stuff. Millennials are actually doing shit with their lives. Gen Zers are the ones who are like, they're the dumb ones. But they're the dumb ones until they, life hits them, and then life will hit them, and then they'll get smart. But life has already hit millennials, so they already know what the world is like. So y'all need to stop with the millennial bashing. Just stop. It needs to come to a stop because it's ridiculous. But anywho, that's I went into dark territory on this episode, which I didn't mean to do. Like I said, I have not had that much to drink. And thankfully enough, because of working out, I don't really crave alcohol that much. I'm having a customary cocktail because this is what we do on this show. We have a cocktail and we talk about stuff, but it's neither here nor there. So, it's about time for that break time. I do need a break though. We are about an hour and 7 minutes into the show. I'm probably going to end this part on Facebook because I want y'all to start coming to the podcast and listening to the podcast because I feel like that I'm giving way too much on this page. So we're probably going to end this here. I've already done an hour. Y'all got an hour. Y'all know exactly how the show works and everything else. And every week I think I'm going to do like 30 minutes of the show. I say that every week. But because of the classes I'm taking, I'm going to actually have to start enforcing that. Because I want y'all to start listening to the podcast and not coming to Facebook Live. I can't make no money if I'm on Facebook Live. This is supposed to be a preview. I can't make no money. I need to make money on the podcast, not on Facebook Live. So we're going to end it on Facebook Live, and I'm going to take a little bit of a break. And I want to tell everybody who's watching Facebook Live to please listen to the show on Spreaker. Oh, you know what? My battery's starting to run low, too. So that's a good thing. I only got 10% left, so y'all not going to get any more. But, yeah, y'all need to start coming. Y'all can listen to this podcast on literally. If you got Spotify, you got Pandora, you got any of that shit, you can find this show. It's easy. We're literally on every podcast network you can imagine, on any music format that plays podcast. So there's no excuse. So I'm going to end the show here on a good note on Facebook Live and say thank you for coming on the show. Little bit of a tingle there. Thank y'all for coming on Facebook Live. Now, like I said, I only have 2 people right now, but the more people, I'm going to start doing a show on the page that is supposed to be for the show. So if you want to come to watch, you can come watch it. And I figure that since people like the page so much, now they have a reason to probably come to the show as well. So we'll see you in a bit. And thank you very much on Facebook Live. And I am going to take a break on the show. So thank you, and we will see you again. And we're back. We're going to finish off the last of the show. I want to tell you something. If you want to explore new videos, new things to watch, I would suggest a couple of people that you need to watch. You need to watch Gina Yashari. Yes. You know, I'm going to get it wrong. I wrote it down. Gina. Oh, my God. Where did I put it? Oh, good Lord. Oh. You know what? Screw it. I'll put it on today's episode. But y'all need to explore Facebook Watch. Y'all need to explore IGTV. Y'all need to explore Twitter. No, IGTV and, well, Twitter. Let me tell you something about Twitter, and I've been having a good time on Twitter. I have not used the normal porn routes that I normally use because for some reason, you know, I'm having a good time right now with dick pics. And, you know, I didn't want to talk about this on Facebook Live. So we are now into the podcast, and we're going to finish out the podcast with this. The show has never received so many dick pics, and I mean, my God, I am being slammed in the face with dick, just slammed in the face. I've never seen, and the videos are imaginative. Oh my God. I mean, I have seen dicks of all sizes, all shapes, all colors, all ages. I'm enjoying myself on Twitter. You know, and at first I was appalled. I'll be the first to admit I was appalled at how many times, every time I open up my Twitter, a dick slapped me in the face. Every time. It wasn't coronavirus news. It was a dick that was slapping me in the face. And I'm like, how am I? You accidentally subscribe to one dick pic because, by the way, that dick pic was the best dick I had seen on Twitter or on any place ever. And it was a simple dick. It was uncut. Now, thanks to Twitter, I like uncut dick. I do. You know, I never, and I'm going to be honest, and I will say this. This is why I love the new world. This is why I love the new world we're living in. You know, boomers and Gen Xers, y'all missing out on some stuff. Because let me tell you something. I have the uncut dick. It can be actually it's beautiful. My God, I kind of envy guys with uncut dick sometimes. I really, really do. Because you know, like I said, this was the most perfect, most beautiful, and I think it was from an Englishman too. You know, an English accent for me will usually, you know, skeet, skeet, skeet all over the place. But I have been getting a lot of dick pics from men, and like I said, of all ages, all shapes, all sizes, all colors. Now, I will say this. For some of you boys, and I say this with no harm whatsoever, because you have to be a certain age to flick a dick on Twitter. And I'm sure Twitter is making sure that you are that certain age. I hope Twitter is making sure of that. Otherwise, y'all going to be like Tumblr and end up getting banned. So I will like to say this to all of you that are flicking dick on on the show's page. I don't mind it, and you continue to do so. But I will tell you this: if that dick looks too young, I will unfollow it immediately, because I'm not all about that. I like my dick a little bit more mature, and like I said, uncut, cut. Like I said, I was very discriminating. I was always about the cut dick, you know, because I have a cut dick, and you know, you kind of want to hook up with someone who also has the same cut dick, but uncut dick. It usually, you know, there's so many different varieties. When you see a cut dick, it's usually the same dick. I mean, it usually is. And let's be fair. the length might be a little bit different and the girth might be a little bit different, but it's usually pretty much the same dick. But uncut dicks, uncircumcised men, there's so much variety. Some are fully hooded, some are slightly hooded, some have a little extra skin on the end. Some, when you pull it back, it stays back. Some, when it doesn't, it doesn't. All kinds of colors, like I said, all kinds of shapes, all kinds of, oh my God. Oh my God. And it just, and you know, when you put a 10-inch cut dick next to a 10-inch uncut dick, I feel like with the uncut dick, you get a little bit more dick. I really do. I don't know why. It just looks like you get a little bit more dick. And they could be literally the same size and the same girth. But for some reason, I feel like you get a little bit more dick with that. And for you uncircumcised men, God love you. God love your parents for deciding to keep that hood on. God love your parents for keeping that hood on. You know, me and my brother are circumcised. My youngest brother is not. And my dad always hated the idea of him being uncircumcised because my dad was uncircumcised, I think, until he turned 25, and then he got circumcised. And I never understood why he got circumcised. But at the time when he was growing up, being uncircumcised was gross and it was nasty. And I get it. And that was the fashion at the time. It's kind of like women and the whole, you know, downstairs shaving of everything. It was a fashion, you know, it's in fashion and that's what you do. So back then for men, the fashion was to be circumcised. So I get it. Completely get it. Understandable. But now I wish that you know, when I wish that my skin was over. I wish I had a hood. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love my dick. I have a beautiful dick. Even at 52, I have a beautiful dick. It's a beautiful dick. You know, I hated my dick for so long because as a black man, unfortunately, in the world, as a black man in the world, sometimes when people of an opposite color see your dick, this is what they expect, you know, and they expect it to be huge and blah, 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 blah. That's what they expect. Now, I like to say this, and I'm not going to go too much into detail because y'all don't need to know that much. I have a nice size. I have a nice girth. I have a wonderful girth, actually. I think there's a little bit more girth than length, but I have a wonderful girth. So it hits the right spots. It hits where, and I have been told this many times. It hits the right spots. And as long as it hits the right spots, that's fine. And I you know, and like I said, I've seen all kinds of sizes. And I have to say, for those of you who, y'all, OnlyFans has changed my mind on the whole size thing. It has completely changed my mind on the whole size thing. I figure if you love your dick enough to put it out there on Twitter, you deserve applause. Let me give you some applause. I'm going to push the applause button. I think it's right here. There we go. No, no. I didn't mean to laugh. That's not a laugh button. Did not mean to laugh. Let me find that applause button. There we go. There we go. Y'all deserve the applause. Dick sizes. I have seen small all the way up to super large. And let me tell you something. I'm going to be honest. Super large. Y'all can probably keep that because that's sometimes too much is not a good thing sometimes. And I'm sure that for a lot of the fans of that size, you go, girl. You go. You should enjoy that. That's your thing. For me, I think I like middle of the road. I don't mind middle of the road up to a certain size. I've taken 10, and by the way, 10 was good. 10 was delicious. 10 was good. 10 was very good. But 8 and 9 is also good. 7 is also good if you know what to do. You know, and I've had 7. I've had 7 and 6. And, you know, being versatile, you know, I can go either way. But when let me tell you something. And I'm going to say this because this is the honest to God truth. I have a little bit of a cocktail there because this is the honest to God truth. It is awesome to be a bottom. I swear to God, it is. It is awesome. All this bottom shaming needs to stop. It is awesome to be a bottom. It really, really is. Y'all don't know. You tops, y'all think y'all got it good? Imagine a bottom. That eyes rolling in the back, those, It's better to be a bottom. I'm telling y'all right now, as a versatile who's been a top and a bottom, being a top is nice. And I've enjoyed being a top, but when a man tells me, I'm a top, I get excited. I get, ooh. It's like, okay. He just, wait, okay. Okay. Let me make, I need to, wait, wait, did you just say that you were, you just said, okay. Wait, are you okay with that? Oh yeah, okay, yes, I'm okay with it. But, okay, I need to prepare. Oh my God. I'm gonna have to do some dusting, some light dusting. You know, I got a nice dick. I do have a very nice dick, and I've been told that a lot of times. But you know, I've also been told I've had a nice ass, but it's like only for show. I feel like it's like that showroom car that no one ever buys. You know, it's just there for show, but no, everybody sits in it, but nobody wants to buy it. Kind of thing. That's what I think my ass is sometimes. It's just like, oh, you know what? You have a nice ass. Thank you very much. Now let's see the dick. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay. All right. So that's fine. I guess you want to see the dick. That's fine. But I do get a lot of compliments on the fact that, you know, it may not show on my jeans. And by the way, I have learned this. It may not show on my jeans. You know, I don't have that kind of bubble butt that, you know, people go, oh, stop in their cars to want to pick you up and take you where you need to go. But I do have, once the pants come off, men go, oh, you do? Oh my God, you have a nice butt. Thank you. But I'm still all about the dick though. So I just want to let you know that, but your ass looks good. So even at 52, you know, I have been, like I said, I've been working out a little bit, and I'm starting to see some changes. You know, I'm starting to see some changes. And I was walking past the mirror. Oh, Lord, excuse me. Oh, sorry, y'all. I did work out earlier. I had a protein shake. Had a little bit of a meal, so I'm still a little bit burping. Plus, I'm having a little bit of alcohol, which I do not recommend, by the way. I do not recommend. If you are working out, try to keep the alcohol to a minimum if you are working out during this quarantine. I know how easy it is to turn to alcohol when you don't have anything else. When you are super bored, smoke weed. If you can smoke weed, smoke weed. And I know weed might be hard to get, especially in certain places. We don't have weed here we don't have weed stores here in Houston. God knows. If we did, I would be at the weed store more than I would be at the liquor store. I would never see a liquor store. Make weed legal in Texas, y'all. Make it legal in Texas. I would never go to the liquor store. I would always go to the weed store. Always. Specs, y'all get a weed aisle, I'll be right there. I'd rather smoke weed than drink. But that's neither here nor there. So the thing is that if you're working out like I am, by the way, I think I've lost some weight and my gut is down to flat. So yeah, I kind of want to keep it that way. So we're not drinking too much. But anywho, so yeah, just keep it to a minimum. Just keep the drinking to a minimum, and you'll be fine. So what was I saying? Oh yes, the dick. So, you know, when someone tells me that they want to get up in there, that they actually want to test drive the car, they don't want the one on the showroom. They want the other. They don't want the one that they pull up. They want the one that's on the showroom floor. That's what my ass is. The one on the showroom floor. That's what they want. I have to prepare. And you know, this showroom car is always prepared. I learned that a long time ago because it may not happen often, but when it does, you need to be prepared. I know exactly. I have known. And by the way, these little doodads and all this other stuff, you bitches out here, y'all getting on my nerves with all of this. Y'all should always be constantly prepared to bottom. And the best way to do that is a good fiber diet, keeping it fibrous all the time. You should be keeping a good fiber diet going on. You need some vegetables. If you need some Metamucil, add some Metamucil to your diet. You need to keep a clean kitchen at all times, because you never know. You never know. That might be that situation where things happen spontaneously, and that's fine. And like I said, I love where the kids are right now. Oh my God. They have helped me get rid of so many shame factors when it comes to bottoming. Like the fact that shit happens, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It used to gross me out, and I used to shame the bottom when it do it, and I'm never going to do that again. I have learned so much from the kids when it comes to that. When it comes to sexual health and everything, the kids got it on. They got it going on. And you older men in my age group, y'all need to listen to the kids. I'm telling you. The shame that we used to feel when it comes to sex, they don't feel that shame anymore. And we can stop feeling our own shame. We can start enjoying our sex lives now. We truly can start enjoying our sex lives now, because the kids have told us to stop with the shame. We don't have to do the shame anymore. We don't have to do it. We don't have to hide it underground. We don't have to worry about getting a little brown on the ice cream. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to worry about that. Stuff happens. We know that we sticking a dick in an ass. We know that. We do know that. So it's okay to, it happens, but keep that house, keep that kitchen clean. And it's not that hard. We have to be on it, especially men of our age. We have to be on this diet. We have to worry about our colons anyway. So you might as well understand that we can have the cleanest colons on the planet. And I'm going to tell you, you children out there, it's the same thing. Eat fiber. Eat a fibrous diet. Fruits, some vegetables. If you are a dedicated bottom, you know a high fiber diet keeps everything clean. And you don't have to worry about getting in there and pumping stuff up in there. You don't need to. By the way, it's not good to be pumping stuff up in there all the time. It is not good to be doing that. If you keep a high fiber diet, trust me, you'll be clean all the time. You might have to just do a little bit of a splish splash here and there on the outer areas. But for the most part, if you keep a high fiber diet, watch what you eat, and everything else, you'll be fine. You can still eat that pizza. You can still eat them burritos and all that other stuff, but just make sure you just keep everything in a high fibrous diet, and you'll be fine. So this is my advice to the kids. The kids have taken away the shame when it comes to gay sex. Thank you, kids. Thank you so much. I have not thanked y'all enough for where I am right now, because it's the kids, it's the younger generation that I need to thank for the fact that I can now live a freer life, because y'all have fought to make sure that we can have that freer life. See, it goes both ways. It does go both ways. The younger generation does help the older generation just as much, because y'all have allowed me to now be free and live a freer life, to explore who I am, to take risk and everything else. Y'all have allowed it. Y'all have allowed us and told us that it's okay to do that. It really is okay to do that. And God love you. Thank you for doing it. Thank you for putting up with all our bullshit. We have heaped you with a lot of shit that our boomer parents heaped up on us. And we have had years to escape it, especially those of us who grew up in a certain age. And you know that age. We already grew up. By the way, millennials, y'all gonna be fine. We grew up with this stuff, and yeah, y'all gonna be fine. We didn't have to quarantine, but in a way that we did have to quarantine. So we had the social distance in our own way. We had to do all our stuff in our own way. We did. We had to. The gay community had to, but you had to fight for it too. So we're gonna be fine. Y'all gonna be fine. Y'all gonna make it through this. I'm gonna make it through it. Everybody's gonna make it through it. It's going to be fine. So y'all just enjoy yourselves. And thank you, millennials. I want to thank millennials once and for all. Here, I'm going to raise my glass to millennials. Dear millennials, thank you. Because now I can have fun. And I hope that there is another man And by the way, I want to say this too. I would love to find a man my own age who's just fun and adventurous and open-minded and just ready to get out in the world and do stuff. That's what I would love to find in a man my age. I wish that I could find me. If I could find me, that would be great. But thank you. I want to thank you. And a lot of people in my generation probably won't give you the props that you deserve. But thanks to you, the shame spiral is done. It is done. And I appreciate it. So I'm going to end the show on this note. You know where to come to listen. And I want you to give me feedback as much as you possibly can. I'm going to be working towards fixing some issues with the show, fixing the website and everything else, because I love this show. It makes me nervous to do this show because I always feel like that I have to be on point and everything else. And I've learned from watching the kids and everybody else on social media now, just do your thing. Just do what you do. So I'm going to say good night. Good morrow. This is a Thursday episode, and I want y'all to enjoy this episode. And I'm going to finish last week's episode because last week's episode needs to be finished. So I'm going to put that episode out today, and this episode will go out tomorrow. So I love y'all. Thank you so much for listening to that little gay talk show. And I'm going to end it with, let me see, what can I do here? Okay, new intro. See if I have something. Okay. Let's see. Ultra Cat. Let's see that. Okay. Let's see. I think I'm going to end it with something fun and funky. Okay. Let me see what that is. Okay. So I'm going to play around with this. Here we go. Okay. There it is. So that's what I'm going to end the show with. So y'all have a good evening. Enjoy yourself. And y'all stay safe and stay in. And don't forget your mask. Please don't forget your mask. It's That Little Gay Talk Show, produced by Joe and Tatum Productions in association with Spreaker. I'm your host, Joel Tatum. Relax and enjoy your time.